despite Zora's beauty and royal title. This left the princess very lonely. She stopped leaving the palace most days. Princess Zara would simply stay in her bedroom, gaze out her window, dreaming of true love and a man who could accept her smelly situation. She imagined a husband who would not care about her strong body odor but would love her for her kind heart. But it seemed impossible, and Zara cried many tears over feeling so alone. It was a hot, vibrant summer day in the village. Princess Zara was up in her asked, "Why did you stop dancing back there? You looked so joyful and free while you were dancing. You can smell me, and yet you still came looking for me here." It teases me and dancing. There was a small surrounded village by green hills and farms. Princess Zara lived in this little village. Her father was King Obi, who ruled over the village. Zara was the king's oldest daughter. She was known as a kind and gentle princess who treated the villagers well, but Zara had a difficult issue she struggled with her whole life. She had very strong body odor that smelled quite bad. Even when Zara was a young girl, she smelled much worse than the other children. The bad smell got worse as Zara grew up, unpleasant smell that trailed behind her wherever she walked. As Princess Zara grew into a young woman, the people in the village started treating her differently. They tried to stay away from Zara because of her very bad smell. Behind her back, some villagers about how stinky the princess was. Some mothers with children would quickly pull their little ones inside their houses when they saw Zara walking down the dusty village road. The young girls who used to be Zara's friends would turn and go in the opposite direction to avoid talking with her. This made Zara very sad. There were many young men in the village and neighboring kingdoms who wished to court Zara because she was pretty and the king's daughter. However, as soon as they got within 6 feet of her, they were driven away by her odor. They decided not to pursue her despite Zara's beauty and royal title. This left the princess very lonely. She stopped leaving the palace most days. Princess Zara would simply stay in her bedroom and gaze out her true love and a man who could accept her smelly situation. She imagined a husband who would not care about her strong body odor but would love her for her kind heart. But it seemed impossible, and Zara cried many tears over feeling so alone. It was a hot, vibrant summer day in the village. Princess Zara was up in her castle bedroom, fanning herself. She left her shutters open, hoping to catch a breeze. Then Zara heard lively sounds floating up from the village square, joyous drum beating and people laughing. She leaned out her window and saw people dancing around a bonfire, celebrating the summer feast day. Zara felt a stirring of excitement. She thought maybe she could sneak out of the palace and observe the festivities without being noticed. People seemed so happy and distracted by the dancing. So Princess Zara quietly left the palace and tiptoed to the edge of the village square. For a few moments, no one realized she had joined them. Zara stood in the shadows, watching wistfully as girls her age spun fast in their colorful skirts. But soon a breeze blew, carrying Zara's unfortunate odor through the crowd. People wrinkled their noses, glancing around to find the source of the stench. Then the drum beats and dancing altered as all eyes turned toward the lonely princess. Mouths fell open in shock before twisting into unpleasant sneers. People doubled over, gagging and whispering behind their hands while pointing at Zara. Before had vanished. Zara was stunned that this stranger had followed her all the way here, especially since he was able to. She replied incredulously, You can smell me, and yet you still came looking for me here. Everyone back in my village teases me and laughs at my dancing. The young man responded gently, Don't worry about them. I think, please ignore their unkind words. Could remember, she felt this realization freed her spirit. She let go of her self-consciousness and began dancing fluidly, her body unfurling into graceful moves and elated. As the drumming accelerated, Zara's feet flew faster. She leapt and spun with ease, weaving swift, elaborate steps that came to her instinctively. The rhythm seemed to flow through her, filling her with joy. With the stranger's admiring gaze holding hers, she felt liberated to fully express her love of dance. When Princess Zara finally stopped dancing, she and the smile. Zara felt exhilarated from the joyful dancing excitement about their next meeting behind the bushes. In the coming weeks, Zara's meetings with Juma were the highlight of her day. Each afternoon she would eagerly sneak away to their secret spot in the bushes, where Juma would already be waiting with his drums. The two new friends enjoyed long, lively conversations, telling stories and jokes that had them laughing for hours. While they talked, Juma often picked up his drumsticks and played energetic rhythms, which delighted Princess Zara and inspired her to dance with a freedom and joy shown. She let go of all self-consciousness about her lingering odor issues when around Juma. He made her feel so accepted that she was able to lose herself in the music. Her wild, uninhibited dancing enhanced their connection even more. When Zara toured past Juma, he looked at her with admiration for her spirit, her beauty, and her essence. Over several weeks, their initial bond grew into a trusting, deep friendship and then budded into warm affection felt on both sides. As Princess Zara fell in love with Juma and felt his equal caring for her impossible, though the princess wished desperately in her most private dreams that social status would not interfere and that they could be bonded in marriage, for she had never felt so happy and accepted as one afternoon, as Princess Zara and Juma sat closely, talking and laughing as usual, he reached over and gently took both of her hands in his. His expression changed to become serious and full of emotion. Juma told Zara that he cared for her deeply and wanted them to be together forever. Admiration from many admirers. Grand tournament to find a suitable husband. Strength and valor of the participants, and the winner would be chosen to become her spouse. In her quest for perfection, Zara started neglecting her personal hygiene, and her old odor returned. When the day of the tournament arrived, the event was disastrous. The participants and spectators reacted to Zara's return to her previous smell with shock and disgust.
Twinkling, action, disappear. Give me some.
Give me one. I want to.
I don't need to clean it. Twinkling, action, disappear. Go and watch Babu Kababu because you know. Action, disappear. Booey, kakina, clean TV. Are you pushing go and sleep? Oh? You understand? I said go and sleep. Honor. You can ash. Give me the ash. Give me the ash. Give me the ash. Give me. For God. 6-5, no very 3-5. 6-5, need to go very 3-5. Okay. That's cool.
Go, 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 She.
Mothers with children would quickly pull their little ones inside their